Welcome to the Art Lady channel. Today we're going to be making these lilies. It's a 3D lily made out of simple paper, and this is a very quick, easy art lesson for kids of all ages. Our first step is to take a piece of paper, and this is 9 by 12 piece of construction paper, but you can use copy paper if you'd like. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to be folding this on a diagonal. So we're going to start off by using the corner, and we're just going to fold this up, but we want to keep this corner a point. So we don't want to fold past the point of the corner. So we're going to, if you hold your thumb here, or hold your index finger here as you fold. So we're folding on a diagonal line. So the best way to do this is to tip this paper. And once you make the first fold, the rest is easy. And I want to come down, and if you picture a mini slice of pizza, a real skinny piece of pizza. So I'm folding over the bottom edge over, but holding the point here. Okay, so see how I'm pushing and it turns and makes a real skinny slice. If you fold it over a little bit more than your finger's width, see how fat that finger is? And see how much room the paper is taking up, just a little bit on each side there. So that's going to be my first fold. I want to pull it tight though. Holding the corner, pulling it tight so I end up with a point, or as close to the corner as you can. And so I'm going to crease that one. Okay, so it's a little bit thicker than my finger. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue folding. And you want to have it end up with 6 petals coming out of the flower. But if you have more or less of the petals, that's okay too. So don't worry about it. If this is bigger than your finger, you should have at least 6 petals. So now I'm going to come and I'm going to continue folding over as tight as I can, and then you want to have it go right to the corner tip. This is important. You don't want to go past the corner. And then I'm going to continue folding again. Just fold it over, crease it right down to the tip, and I'm going to fold it over again, crease it, and I'm continuing to fold it. I don't want to get bigger than what I started, like that. So now it's a long, skinny, almost a cone type shape. It's not 3D rounded though. It's a very skinny piece of, it looks like a real thin piece of pizza, right there. Pointy on one end, and then it's wider. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut off part of the top here. And if you open it up, you'll be able to see there's lots of little folds. So we want to go to, I'm kind of reverse folding this now. Folding it down. So here's the smallest folds here. So I'm reverse folding. That way I can see where the smallest fold is, which is right here, the shortest fold. So now what I'm going to do, you can even wrap, if you want to wrap it around, I'm just going to reverse fold it here. Now what I'm going to do is from here, I'm going to make a point. Now you can sketch this out if you want. So this is the shortest piece of paper. So this is where we'll make a mark from. I'm going to go in the center of this line, and then I'm just going to come down and down. So on the shortest line, down and down. And now I'm just going to take some scissors and I'm going to cut through all the paper right to that point. I'm going to do the same on the other side. You can cut that right off if you want. We don't need that. And this is forming the petals. And I'm cutting all the petals at the same time. So let's see if I get my vocabulary out. We're going to be adding filaments. We are forming the petal of this lily flower right there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up right here, And you want, like I said, at least 6, but if you have more or less, that's fine too. I've got 2, 4, 5, and 6. I've got an extra one here. So my choice is I can either leave it or I can trim this off. That's up to you. The lilies that we're making today have 6 petals right here on the flower. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give some color on the inside of the lily. So let's look down here on the example. You can see on the inside of this particular lily, I have some yellow coming in, some yellow and yellow-green. And so I'm just going to color that quickly with some crayon. You can use crayon or you can use an oil pastel. Here, I'll just use an oil pastel since they're right here handy. And I'm just going to come up and put some lines in of bright yellow. Just lines from the center radiating out, just like that. And you can put a little bit of lime green in. What I do is just near the bottoms, I just go put a little lines in. I don't make them as long, make them a little bit shorter. Now we have our color on our petals of our lily. Now we're going to make the centers right here, this little piece that's going to go inside, and this is all the parts of the flower. So we're going to be adding some, making a pistil, which is the center green of the, right here, of the lily. And then we're going to add, around the pistil, there are some stamens. And the stamen is made up of anthers and filaments. So we're going to be, let's get the words out here. So we're going to be making the stamen, and the stamen is made up of an anther and a filament. So we're going to add those. And these are the stamens right here. The yellow are all the stamens of the flower. And the stem part of the stamen is called the filament. And then the very tip is the anther, and the tips are colored orange. So that's what we're going to make next. So what I do is I take some scrap paper, and I'm going to just make a long, skinny rectangle out of scrap paper. So when I measure it with my paper here, I want it to be shorter than the petals. And that's about 4 inches. Let's see, actually it's 5 inches. So that's a 5-inch long piece of paper and about 1 inch wide. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut. And if you make 5 lines, you'll end up with 6 of these. And that's how many stamens are in the center of this lily. 4, I think this is enough. Let's see. 2, 4, 6. Now I have 6 little stamens. And I'm going to end up coloring the tips of the stamens on both sides, which are the anthers. I'm going to add a little bit of orange to this. And I'm just going to do both sides, just a little bit on the tips. And that'll give the anther. And then if you bend this too, the anthers come off of this. So I bend mine. Just gives a little bit more realistic detail. And now I'm going to take a lime green piece, and this is going to form the pistil that goes up the middle here. So I'm just going to do a long skinny strip of lime green, and I'm going to fold over the tip of that. And this forms the pistil, and the very tip of the pistil is the stigma. I don't think I have a vocabulary ready for that one. That forms, this is the actual stigma that's on the top, and this whole shape, this whole piece is the pistil. And inside the pistils with the pollen tubes, and then at the very bottom is where reproduction happens in the flower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here at the bottom, and I want to glue this pistil. Here's the word pistil. I'm going to glue the pistil, which is the green part, in the very middle. Just like this. And you only need a very small dot, a very small. And I rub it in just so that it dries faster. I'm going to put that in. And then I'm going to just wrap this around it, and I'm going to just kind of pinch it. And then pinch it flat. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the inside here and stick that down right there. So I have the inside of my flower glued to the petals at the bottom, right here. And now what I'm going to do, you can wrap it with either, here's a pipe cleaner. So what I did was I clinched the bottom and wrapped it really tight with a pipe cleaner. Or you can even use a popsicle stick. I kind of like the popsicle sticks better because they're a little bit sturdier than a pipe cleaner, because the pipe cleaners are pretty floppy. This is a pretty heavy flower, and then this is kind of floppy. But that's up to you how you want to do this. And again, if you're going to use the pipe cleaner, you just clinch at the bottom and then wrap it, and there it is. You can put a little bit of glue there if you want. Put a little bit of glue. I'm going to glue some on the top here. And then I'm going to wrap this. And then I'm going to run a bead of glue down here. Now I always rub my glue in. Once I put the bead of glue or a little line of glue, I rub in with my hand. And now I'm going to overlap and press. Otherwise, if you don't press it, it'll come right off. Now I'm going to open up my flower. Now if this is not cut long enough, you might want to cut down your flowers here. If your petals aren't opened enough. Cut on the fold. That way you can curl them back. Or any hard flat edge and pull. The ruler and pull. Place your ruler and pull. So this edge is going to be on the paper. This finger is pushing against the paper, and I'm pulling up, and it automatically curls it. Curls it. Curls it. I like the curls. It looks real pretty. Situate them the way you like them. And then I'm going to bring it together and press one more time so that tacky glue stays. And then I'm going to put this inside it. Run some glue. Oops, wrong glue. And close it up. And now I'm going to let it sit, pressing it around the popsicle stick, like so. And that supports it. The popsicle stick's strong enough to really support it nicely. And there we have our flower with all of the insides. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments how yours came out.